everybody, it's Cassie. Thank you for coming to watch this video. Today I'm going to do my 2018 stats, update on my reading challenges, and show you graphs and everything related to stats, I guess. I checked my Goodreads and checked my journal and I counted it all up. Goodreads is right, it has 82. I messed up in my journal saying I only read 81, but I read a book somewhere in there that I don't have in my book journal, but I have in my other journal. Because in my bar graph, you will see that it's 82 books. I don't know where I messed up. I don't know which book I'm forgetting. I'm going to have to go through it all again and to see which book I missed. So I will be looking down at my journal quite a bit through this video. I have everything in here to go over with you guys. And oh, I wanted to show you real quick what my pictures look like. I took a picture at the beginning of the year and at the end of the year. I will put a picture here so you can see the difference in bookshelves and see which books stayed, which books didn't stay, how many more books I have added to my shelves, which is kind of embarrassing. It's a lot for me anyways. So let's just get into this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the Goodreads stats. At the end of the year, they give you a page that wraps up your total year. And it says I read 32,002 pages out of 82 books, which is really, really good because I only read 55 books in 2017, which is amazing, and I really hope I can read at least complete my goal this year. If I don't pass it, that's fine. I can't believe I passed 60 books. My goal was just 5 books a month, which I will show you here in a minute. At the beginning of 2018, I barely read anything, and then by the end, I read a lot, and that's a huge thanks to readathons. My average book length is 390 pages. The shortest book I read is Night of the Living Dummy 2 by R.L. Stine, and that was 120 pages. The longest book that I read was Winter by Marissa Meyer, and that is 827 pages. It was a huge book, but the thing is, I read it and listened to an audiobook, so it didn't take me as long as it probably should have. I keep getting hair in my mouth. I've got my fan going. But it took me quite a long time to read, even with an audiobook, but there was so much going on. It is a huge book. It's bigger than I thought it was when I was picking it up to read. The most popular book I read in 2018 was Twilight by Marissa Meyer, and the least popular book that I read was Amelia's War. My average rating for 2018 was 4.1 stars. Like I said in my 2018 wrap-up video, I don't normally rate books 2 and below. I just usually end up DNFing those books. I can't, if I feel like it's below a 3, I'm putting it aside, getting rid of it. I don't want to read it. So that's why this year I was very strict about DNFing. If I did not want to read it and I felt like it was below a 3 for me, then I was done. The highest rated on Goodreads that I read in 2018 was Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and that was a 4.58 average. That is an amazing book. I highly recommend it, especially the audiobook. Please, if you haven't, get that audiobook, listen to it. It is beyond amazing. All right, now I'm going to get into some pie graphs. I do my stats a little different than I think other people do, because for one book, it may have 3 to 5, 3 to 8 different categories. And like it could be YA, but also middle grade. It could be fantasy, but also romance. It could be sci-fi or adventure. So I categorize everything. If I calculate, I write it all down. I market everything. So first, I want to show you the male authors and the female authors. I read more female authors this year. It was a 51 out of 81, 82. Like I said, I don't know. And then male authors, I only read 25 of, and both were 5. So 6.2% for both, 30.9% for male, and 63% for female. So I thought I did pretty good this year, reading quite, it's, maybe I should try next year to read at least 50% of both, which I may end up doing because I'm finding more authors, like more high fantasy authors that I'm wanting to get into, and a lot of those are male, which kind of stinks, but female authors get to write in high fantasy. Now on to the genres that I read in 2018. Like I said, each book had more than one category of genre, and I counted every single one. So this does not come up to 82 books. This comes up to however many each book went into those genres. I hope I am explaining this right. I'm going to look at this. Ow, just hit my glasses. And it'll be right here too. So for historical fiction, I read 9 books that went into that category, 6.3%. Classics, I only read 3, 2.1%. Adventure was 5, 3.5%. Retellings, 3, 2.1%. Dystopian, 9, 6.3%. Romance, 29, 20.4%. Horror, 7, 4.9%. Mystery thriller, I only read 4, which I thought I read more, but I guess not, so that's only 2.8%. Contemporary was 5, and that is 3.5%. Sci-fi was 15, 10.6%. And fantasy, the biggest category there is, 53, 37.3%. If you cannot tell, I love my fantasy books, and that is the genre I gravitate towards. Romance fits into almost every genre there is, so that's why that's like the next biggest thing, I think. Now for the targeted age group that I read from. So young adult, adult, new adult, middle grade, children's. For new adult, I only read 3, and that was 3.1%. For adult, I read 8, 8.2%. Middle grade, 12, that was 12.2%. Children, 13, 13.3%. And young adult, the biggest part of the pie graph, and that is 62, 63.3%. I apparently gravitate more towards YA fantasy. I'm hoping to get into more adult fantasy books, so that is my goal for 2018 or 2019. Whoops. And I don't know if I will complete that. All right, now for this big chart right here. This is my 2018 reading challenge. I will put a picture here of it, and then I will show you each box that I filled out. I did not complete 5 challenges. Those 5 challenges that I did not complete were a book that is more than 100 years old. I did not read a nonfiction. I did not read a book read in school. Actually, I did start one, but I did not finish it. I did not read a nonfiction book about nature. The reason why I put that in for 2018 was because at the time I was kind of working on my story, and it has a lot to do with nature. I need to know the flowers, the trees, herbs. I really needed to go into a lot of research. I mean, I have those books. I just haven't sat down and made myself do it. So I could have completed that, but I just didn't. And then the last one, I did not read a book of poetry, which I hope to do in 2019. So let's get into the ones I did complete, and I will let you know which challenge it was and which book went with it. I completed a young adult novel, and that was One Dark Throne. A book with a color in the title, Red Queen. Book from childhood, One Day at Horrorland. Book published in 2017, The School for Good and Evil, The Camelot Years. A book pick based on the cover, and that was City of Brass. Based off of a fairy tale, Cress, which I'm thinking now, I think I read more retellings, because I don't know if I counted Cress in Winter. I don't know. Book by a female author, Poison Study. Book by a male author, The Wishing Spell. A fantasy novel, Throne of Glass. A book about a historical event, The Book Thief. Book translated from another language, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Book that is adapted into a movie, A Man Called Ube. Book over 400 pages, The Demon King. Book under 200 pages, Among the Hidden. Book over 500 pages, The Exiled Queen. Thriller, mystery, And Then There Were None. Horror, Ashes. Contemporary, Part-Time Princess. Sci-fi, Illuminae. Book published in the 20th century, Amelia's War. Book with the name in the title, My Plain Jane. Book finished in a day, Among the Betrayed. One-word title, Gemina. Book someone recommended to me, Snow Like Ashes. Reread a favorite, Crown of Midnight. An audiobook, Beyonders. Ebook, The School for Good and Evil, book number 3. That's all I have written down here. A book I borrowed, Incarceron. Book by 2 authors, Obsidio. Book about time travel, Love Beyond Time. Classic, Jane Eyre. Book published in 2018, Children of Blood and Bone. Based on a true story, My Plain Jane. Second book in a series, Among the Imposters. Those are all the challenges that I completed that I had written down for 2018. I just got these off of just a random bunch of different challenges that I found, and I think I did pretty good. And here I have my books read each month. January, February, and March, I had a hard time getting into reading. I read great books, but I had a hard time getting into them. 3 books for those 3 months. Then I bumped up all the way to 7 in April of really good books. Then I went down to 5 in May and June, and then down to 4 in July. June and July were very, very busy months for me. I went camping, I went on vacation, I did a lot of family stuff, so that did not leave a lot of time for reading. August, I bumped up all the way to 11 books. Oh, that was amazing. It was so great to see that after reading 4. I felt so proud of myself. September and October, there were 9 books each. November, there were 13 books, and I think that to readathons. If I would not have participated in readathons, I would not have gotten 13 books, because I think I read 8 books in 2 weeks, so that was amazing. And then in December, the last month of the year, I read 10 books. I was afraid I wouldn't even do that because of the holidays and everything, but I did. I finished this year off great, and I'm so glad looking at this chart that even though the beginning of the year started off a little rocky, the end of the year was absolutely fantastic. Alright, I'm just cutting in here real quick. I forgot to tell you about my ratings. I read 24 5-star reads, 45 were 4-star reads or 4.5, and I read 12 3-star reads or 3.5, and I think I read 1 like 2.5. That's what I rated. I didn't do like I did last year and put 4.5 or 3.5. I just categorized it in 5, 4, and 3. Like I said, I did not rate anything 2 or 1. I would DNF'd those books. That is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this. I don't remember doing a stats video last year, so this is kind of new to me in doing this. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to do another one at the end of this year. Let me know if there were any challenges that you completed this year, what you did not complete in the year of 2018, and if you are doing a book journal, let me know if you keep one of these, what you keep track of. Thank you so much for watching this. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye!